Hello.
Hey, so how are you today?
I am good. It is the end of another productive day, so
That's amazing.
abundantly good.
That's super good. Great. So welcome back. It is super awesome to have you here. Now, before we start, you know the drill. I have to give you an epic, proper welcome to someone as super and awesome and badass as you. So,
Woohoo!
here we go.
Yes, epic start.
Yeah. Now, starting with our whole Halloween special. So,
Excited.
there you go.
Perfect.
So, right. So, tell me, like, what do you like the most about Halloween?
I like the dress up, obviously. You know, with the acting, how could I not? I have all the gear. Yeah, this upcoming weekend is going to be at an amusement park. I get to be a dead person, so I'm really excited about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't actually learn how to do makeup until I was, a mom several years later. Anything I did as a kid, I never actually learned. So to do Halloween as an adult is a chance to experiment.
Yeah.
And if it looks horrible, it's okay because it's part of the costume.
Totally. I agree on that. Yeah. And what are some of your favorite moments that you had back as you were a kid on Halloween?
When I was a kid, we had this piano that used to play by itself. It had the floppy disk that you put in. And we would purposely put a pillow on there and put weights on the pillow so it looked like there was a butt in it.
Yeah.
And we would have it play by itself. And all the kids were too afraid to go up to our house to ring the bell because they actually thought it was possessed.
Okay.
So yeah, those scared children is probably my biggest fave.
I love it. And if you could pick any costume for Halloween right now, which one you would choose?
Ooh, there's so many good ones. Right now, probably a penguin.
Okay, I like it.
It's nice and cozy, and it was warm here, and now it's suddenly freezing. So, also, I like animals in general. I volunteered at a wild animal hospital for quite a while. During the pandemic, I was fostering orphaned opossums. So anytime I do anything as an animal or for animals, it just triggers a lot of conversation that ends up being educational for people. So, yeah, a penguin is at the moment where it'd be at.
Okay, all right.
And a possum is a little harder to dress up as.
Yeah, totally. And if you could be in any horror franchise, like right now, which one you would choose?
There's so many good ones. That's a horrible question. I mean, Friday the 13th is always a good one. All of them are good. So I'd be happy with any of them.
There you go. All right, perfect. Now, any movie or TV show that you could recommend for Halloween?
Again, all of them. They're just so beautiful. Any of the ones that you can cuddle up with your kid, whatever level your kid is at, and enjoy through their eyes. As a mom, I've gotten to enjoy all of my old favorites with a totally different view.
Yeah.
So we've been going through Nightmare Before Christmas, and we watch that every Halloween and again during Christmas because we got to do it twice. And that one's probably my favorite because he'll actually snuggle up next to me, and he's in that preteen phase where he's just mean. So I get 10 seconds of having my baby again.
All right. Now, tell me, do you have any story that you could tell us?
Yes, and I'm so excited to tell you.
Go for it.
So it's kind of a long one. That's okay, right?
We got
awesome. So quite a few years ago now, back when my baby actually still liked me, because, again, he's a preteen now, so he's too cool for mom.
Yeah.
But back when he actually liked hanging out with me, he and I were the maid of honor and man of honor to a friend of ours' wedding in Vegas.
Okay.
So we flew out to Vegas. Beautiful wedding. We got lost and our luggage got separated from us. So we had to wander through Walmart in the evening gown and to, get a toothbrush.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the wedding, everyone's doing their own individual things and, going off back home. We had quite a few hours before our plane ride. So we chose to go to this museum in Henderson, right outside of Vegas.
Okay.
Big museum, great reviews. And the Uber driver's dropping us off there. And he's like, yeah, I've heard some weird things about that place. But, it's a huge museum, super cheap. Have fun. And we're like, okay, thanks. So we get there a couple minutes before it opens. We're clearly the only ones there. And the two rangers at the desk, because it's a state park, give us the rundown. Everything in that museum is from somewhere in the state of Nevada. And it's, the history of Nevada in general, all brought to that location. So every building that was brought there was lifted from the ground and dragged to that museum.
Okay.
And there's trains there. They rebuilt a Native American village. And it's an awesome museum. And it's $5. Huge. So we're stoked. And they tell us to head to the little village first, where each building is from a different time period and a different part of Nevada history. So everything's decked out for Halloween because it's right before Halloween. And we're just playing with the spooky, just having fun. It's a vacation day.
Yeah.
He runs ahead of me, and the very first house, it's like Boulder City House. And I enter. He pops out from around the corner. I scream like a childish little chicken girl. And we're just having fun from there. And we see mannequins all over the place. Because again, they're decorated for Halloween. So those creepy 50s mannequins?
I hate them.
I love them and I hate them.
Yeah.
So they're all over that place, like dressed up for Halloween as penguins and ghosts. And we're just making fun of it. We're singing all the creepy horror movie songs, and we go into the kitchen in that first house, and this ranger pops out. Her name's Jen, and she just looks us dead in the eye, and she's like, guys, you need to not disturb the occupants here. And we're like, occupants? This is a museum. Like, you literally just opened. Like, sure, yeah, we'll be respectful. We promise.
Yeah.
So we ignore her and go on to the next house. And the next house is 50s style. The songs on that little CD that was playing, it's one song when we enter, but then it quickly changes to Earth Angel. Earth Angel, Earth Angel. And it starts skipping. And my son, he walks in there and he immediately goes, oh, there's ghosts here. And I'm like, right, there's ghosts, sure. And I start recording because I'm a Snapchat-aholic. I love posting pictures way too much. Yeah. And as far as I can see on my camera, everything looks normal. And I'm just recording away, chewing my gum too loud, enjoying the vacation. And he's chatting with the ghost, and I'm still recording. I passed by the chair where he first saw a guy, apparently, who worked for the government, according to my son, who is a ghost. So it's his imaginary friend in my mind.
Yeah.
And the Earth Angel song starts skipping like crazy. And it just keeps repeating, Earth Angel, Earth Angel. And it's like, that's weird. And then we're still walking through the house, and each room has a different theme. We get to the atomic room, about the atomic history of Nevada. And then the song changes to, that'll be the day that I die. And then it keeps repeating, that'll be the day that I die. And I'm just going along with it. I'm like, they had to have done this on purpose.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
that's hilariously creepy.
Totally.
Whatever. So we keep walking through, and the next building is like an old medicine shop. And my son goes, oh, this guy's really angry. He hasn't had a customer in a long time. And there's plastic all over the register. It's like one of those really old, curvy, ka-ching registers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I think I see why he hasn't had any customers. Can't get to the register. And I'm just like trying to crack jokes, enjoy this moment with my son. And we wrap up. We've seen all the buildings. We're going on to the train area. And as we're leaving, we think we're the only ones in the area. And we hear, stop. It's like, what? So we turn around, and that ranger Jen is standing there again. And she's like, you guys needed to be more respectful. I told you, you needed to not disturb the occupants here. And it's like, sorry for being playful in a $5 museum.
Yeah.
So we finish up at the museum. We enjoy Vegas for a little bit. And by the evening, we're waiting at the airport. And while we're waiting at the airport, we hear Earth Angel, Earth Angel on the overhead music. And we're like, well, that's weird. It's almost Halloween. Makes sense. They're kind of going for a theme.
Yeah.
We get on the airplane, and there's kid doodles all over the freaking place.
Okay.
Like, it looks like something out of a horror movie, but, adorable.
Yeah.
A really adorable horror movie. And the plane takes off normal, and as we're flying, all of a sudden, 3 minutes after the seatbelt sign went off, the plane's going, goes boom, and drops. The flight attendants just run to seats, whatever seat is closest to them, and buckle up. And anyone who had a drink, which was maybe like 3 or 4 people, that drink was in the air and gone.
Yeah.
Like, nobody else got drinks. And the entire flight, it's going like crazy. It was the last 2 minutes of the flight that finally we were able to like have a drink handed to us. They didn't even bother with the ice. They just handed us the can.
Yeah.
We're like, thank you. So later the next day, I wake up, I call my mom. I'm like, yeah, wedding was great. We went to this weird museum. And she's like, yeah, that video feed that you had was really weird and choppy. I'm like, choppy? What do you mean? So I go to look at the storyline. And you know how what you save is in a different folder than your story? So what I saved looked exactly like what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
But the story was entirely different. As soon as I got to that chair that my son was talking to the dead government official,
yeah,
the video feed stops dead center of the chair. And then throughout the rest of that building, it's flashing. Like, it's dark until I get to the atomic room. And then the video feed starts switching to green to red to flash.
Yeah.
And then you can maybe see an atomic sign, and then you can't see anything. And all you can hear is me annoyingly chewing the gum and the song. And that'll be the day that I die. And at that point, I'm pretty freaked out. So a couple of the other videos were weird, but I couldn't save them.
Yeah.
Every time I tried to save the one on the story feed, it would save the way I saw it and not save the strange way that it was happening.
Yeah.
So I literally had to resort to filming what the story feed was with my mom's phone. So I'm filming my phone. So I'm freaked out. And so I call the museum and I'm like, hey guys, my son and I were there yesterday. I had some questions for Jen. And they're like, Jen? We don't have a Jen on staff. I'm like, well, who was your third ranger? There were the 2 at the front and the lady that was like in the rest of the place. And they're like, no, it was just the 2 of us. I remember you guys were our only customer for like the first half of the day. And at that point, I'm solidly freaked out. And I'm like, sorry to bother you. Thank you so much for your time. I'll find a different resource for my question. So eventually, I don't worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
3 months later, I'm driving to pick up my son. And on the radio, I hear, Earth Angel, Earth Angel. And right after the beginning of that, boom! From dead behind me, I get hit by a drunk driver. And that drunk driver, after hitting me, still had their foot on the gas. So they ricochet back and hit me again. And I've done a lot of boxing, especially years before.
Yeah.
So I automatically go to block. So when you box, you block the knockout points, and it keeps your chin safe, your temple.
Mm.
And I grab the emergency brake, pull it, and I don't get knocked out, but I'm being pushed into the center of the intersection. And that Earth Angel song is still playing.
Oh my God.
And finally, after she stops pushing me into the intersection with cars moving through it, she finally turns off her engine. I can hear this finally turn off. And the next song is, That'll Be the Day That I Die.
What?
Yeah. So I, thank God, have my phone next to me. I call 911. EMTs come. They take me out on a stretcher because my back is broken.
Yeah, of course.
I never box again. So at that point, I'm still pretty freaked out.
Yeah.
I talked to a friend of mine that had been a monk. I'm like, do I need to be concerned? Like, did I piss somebody off? And they give me these bracelets to wear, like the evil eye bracelets with the blue bead.
Mm.
And I wear it for a while, and probably about 3 or 4 months go by, and nothing's happened. And I'm like, probably gonna be okay. I can keep living my life again.
What?
So I don't wear it. And then about a week after I stop wearing it, I come home from work. My neighbor's working on their car, and they've got the radio on. We're chatting for a bit.
Yeah.
And then their radio changes to Earth Angel, Earth Angel. So I run into my house. My poor neighbor doesn't know why I'm running. And my dog had sliced his foot, and there's like blood all over there. Spaz is a goober anyway, but he's limping and clearly in pain. So I just scoop him up, take him to the vet, and they tape him up. He's okay now, but it was like notable.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So ever since then, whenever Earth Angel comes on, I grab any amulet or protective thing that I have just in case. But that has been a thing now for years because my kid was still young, and now he's older and doesn't like to be around me, and it hasn't stopped.
Wow.
Yeah, and if you think that's a fake story, it's really not. I posted right before this a post on my Kit Mathews page.
Yeah.
Of the pictures of the creepy mannequins with their sheet over them, and the version that I saw first, where when I would save it, and it was that version, and then I posted the recording that I took holding my mom's phone, where it's flashing. And then talking to my dad's a real smart computer person. He helped create first-person shooter games. He helped create computer coding. So I was asking him, why is it that it would be one way on the story feed, and when I save that story feed, it changes back to the other way? And my dad was saying there was no real reason why it should be doing that whatsoever. It's the same code and the same story. So it should be exactly the same, but every time I tried to save it, it wouldn't save the same.
That's yeah. As they say on the comments, this is some Final Destination shit. Yeah, I totally agree on that.
Yeah, yeah. So, true story. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's I'm speechless. Wow. So you basically, I mean, you have like this. Yeah, I mean, at some, yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I don't know any other word to say it, but it's like you were having like this curse, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, that monk friend has passed away since, so they're no longer a source. I've talked to a priest, but he just thought I was crazy. So
Yeah.
it's like, yep.
Oh man. Wow. I'm speechless with that. That was a very cool and epic story.
Well, I'm glad it was epic. It'd be nice if it were less epic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it's a good museum though. I would still go back. If I was back in Henderson, I would absolutely go back and check out that museum and maybe ask them to stop following me.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Yeah. Or you could do like, I mean, I know, I mean, I wouldn't do it, but like these guys on YouTube that they will go to like haunted places and everything, like museums and all of that.
Yeah, well, my friend and I, we used to do haunted explorations all the time. One of the friends that's watching on here, I can see, she and I used to go to like the old, they call it the Old Byron Hotel. I guess I shouldn't say that I went there because technically going there is trespassing. But
but don't worry. I mean, I don't know what you're talking.
Yeah.
That's another place.
We went to some unnamed place, but it was an old hotel from the 20s that then became a. She's confirming the story. I can see, but it was an old hotel from the 20s that became a mental institution after World War I. And they used to try to do alternative therapies for the veterans where they like waterboarded them and electrocuted them. And my other friend and I, we used to do ghost hunting all the time. So we had like that electric meter and temperature reader. And there, when it's a ghost, supposedly it gets colder. When it's a demon, it gets hotter, supposedly. And there it was getting hotter. And my friend and I that normally do ghost hunting, we were holding like amulets and we didn't hear much, but my friend said that she did hear things. So yeah, so there's a lot of good ghost hunting things, and I wish I had my equipment there at that place. But yeah, so if I ever go back, I'm bringing the equipment.
That's so cool. Wow. Huh. I wouldn't. I mean, I sort of like all of those. Yeah, like the paranormal stuff here and there, but I wouldn't dare to go into like an asylum or abandoned hotel or something like that. I mean, the main reason why is because I'm afraid for a homeless person come out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
That is a totally fair concern. What she'd say, the hotel was creepy and someone was playing with the hair and tickling her neck. Yep, that's what was happening.
That's so crazy.
But yeah, I now am more concerned about homeless people than what I used to be because they're on different stuff. It used to be that they were more relaxed and you could just walk around them.
Yeah.
But now they're a lot more aggressive. The high school that I went to, there was the very first cemetery of our town was right next to it. And they dug out bodies and then concreted the hole in. So, the 6 foot deep thing. But they conveniently wouldn't tell people what it was. So you had to be part of the historian group to actually know that it was a cemetery. So the soil there was soft and there was a creek right behind it.
Yeah.
And only certain ethnic groups, reflective people, actually got a tombstone when the town first started. All the other graves were unmarked. And so after they concreted certain bodies, you know, their spots in, all the unmarked ones fell out of the back of the creek over the years. So even now, there's still remains popping.
Huh. How interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was a good place to go to high school, because then you could, you know, ghost hunt at a young age.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, you know, the downside of ghost hunting, part of me wonders, especially for that Henderson adventure, the Vegas trip, when you search for something, it searches back. So part of me wonders if they were like, hey, you guys are chatting with us, especially my son. He was chatting up every ghost, every place. So it's like, you know, if you seek them, they'll seek you.
Yeah, totally. I do agree on that. That is also like one of the reasons why I don't go to those places or something, you know, because I love to scare people, but I get scared like
yeah.
Yeah.
So... And obviously, if you watch the little clip that I put on there of the various videos, I put where I scream before Jen first pops out, and I can get scared, and I'm okay with that. I'll just keep going, you know. But yeah, I don't mind being scared. It's just things that I can't control that might be, you know, pushing boundaries that I don't want pushed.
Yeah,
that part bothers me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I do believe that we have like this, that if you mess with those type of stuff, it can end up pretty bad, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And well, obviously, I know. So if you ever hear Earth Angel playing and I'm around and suddenly I'm not there,
I'm gonna run away. You can kind of that. I'm gonna be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. If I ever disappear off the face of the earth, the person you might be looking for might already be dead.
Or, you know, if you heard that song and I'm with you, I mean, I'm gonna get worried too, because I could be like, wait a minute, what if I go, what if something happens to me, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it's like, is it what I'm walking up to, or is it coming? Or, you know, it's that kind of question, especially when you're dealing with things that are not in this space-time. You know, they exist outside of time, supposedly.
Yeah.
So, you know, do they know what's going to happen and they're warning you, or are they causing it?
Yeah. I think it's, totally. So yeah, if I ever hear those songs and I'm near, and I'm near with you, probably I'm just gonna stay and be like, and what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna tell you like, well, I think this is where it ends, so I'll see you the other side.
You're like, I'm afraid of the fallout, and I don't want to get hit either.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
You just shove me out of the way so that you're not in the, you know, line of fire.
Yeah. I'm gonna say like, hey, you're looking at her, not me though. I don't have nothing against it though.
Yeah, exactly. Hold up a mirror. Be like, I'm not here.
Yeah. Wow. That is so cool, Kit. That is a very amazing story, I think. At the moment, it is. It's amazing. It's an amazing story here. That really got me thinking a lot. Yeah, wow.
Well, thanks for asking me to share it. So
I
message and ask for a scary story. I'm like, heck yeah, I got this.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that was super epic, though. Super epic. Well, I mean, what can I say? At the end of the day, besides being super talented actress and model, you also have a very cool, scary story. So I have to give you a huge shout out for that. You know, I mean, I need to give you a quick shout out. So
thank you. Yay.
Also, I want to thank those who are watching this. If you're watching this later on YouTube or listening to this later on the podcast, make sure that you follow Kit on all social media. Normally, what I would say is for you to put pause, then you can leave a like, subscribe. I mean, it helps a lot here, my show here. And then hydrate, and then definitely go follow Kit. Send a lot of epic vibes, love, support her content. I mean, we have an amazing talented model and actress and person here, so make sure that you are supporting her. And again, thank you so much. It was super cool to know this story. I can't wait for more episodes with you in the future. You're definitely super cool and awesome. And before I send you off, you know the way, I need to send you off properly. So there you go.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, again, thank you so much, and keep having an amazing rest of the evening. And I'll be seeing you in the next one then.
Yep, and stay safe, and try to avoid any creepy songs.
Oh yeah, you can count on that. Yeah, I hate I hate them, so that's fine.
Right?
All right.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.